more people trickle in.
That's cool. We hadn't had a Friday night recap in a while.
Since the HOC. Probably wondering what we're doing. It ain't Sunday.
We don't know what we're gonna do Sunday. We don't know what's going on.
Ready, friend?
Let's do it, bro.
Well, welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. Week 10 recap show, and boy, oh boy, 10 weeks have come and gone, my friend. It's sad to see, but it's great at the same time because you know what looms in the near future.
Yep.
Playoffs are around the corner, but now you start to scratch your head a little bit and think to yourself, when will playoff football happen? A lot has happened in the last 24 hours. A lot will happen in the next 48 hours.
Right.
Gary, to be determined in the near future of what can we expect in the playoffs, because the excitement level has to be brought down a little bit.
Yeah.
We was expecting to come into this recap show full blazing, excited for next week. Where will Under the Lights go? But right now, we mellowed down a little bit right now,
Right.
because we're scratching our heads. Will we have postseason football next week? Will we have postseason football in 2 weeks?
Right.
Will we even have state championships in the Dome? It's not a good feeling right now.
No, man. I tell you what. Whenever I heard about this, and I, saw it on Facebook today, and along with the news, I don't know what to expect.
Like wildfire.
Yeah. I mean, I got it. I shared it and everything, and it's been all over social media. But man, what is going to happen? The joy of the Superdome experience is in jeopardy.
Yeah.
We make a vacation of it every year.
Yeah.
We go to the Dome, and it's like we're in jeopardy of losing that because of something that's happening.
Yeah, and like I said, these next 48 hours are very important for the landscape of high school football moving forward in the most important part of the season.
Right.
It's time for playoffs. It's time for bracket releases. It's time for teams to start putting in preparation, and because there's no tomorrows.
Right. And Jordan, every year we look forward to our bracket, reveal show.
And now we can't have that.
We can't even have that because we don't know what's going to happen until this ruling comes out, and that ruling, they keep on saying that it's going to be 2 weeks. Man, that's crazy. So we're going to have high school football and Christmas and New Year's? That's stupid, man. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm kind of overreacting a little bit, but that's crazy to have that. You got to figure this out, get it done,
48 hours.
and get to football.
48 hours, Gary, and you got to figure it out fast.
Yes.
You can't wait 2 weeks.
No, you can't do that. I mean, that's the joy of every high school player in this state wants to get to New Orleans and play on the Superdome turf. That's what the joy. If you ask any football player, high school football player that makes the playoffs, and you ask them, say, what's your goal? To be in the Dome. And that's exactly pretty much what they say. To be in the Dome. Not to be at this stadium or that stadium or this. To be in New Orleans at the Superdome.
And the road to the Dome was supposed to begin tonight.
Right.
When we hit midnight, the road to the Dome officially begun. A lot of seniors played their last downs here this evening. So, Gary, the floor is yours. A lot of seniors played their last downs yesterday.
Right.
A lot of seniors played their last downs tonight. But I'm sure they went out the way they wanted to and finish it off.
Right. And all of the seniors that played their last game. I know we had some at our alma mater and everything like that, but they had a lot more that we know
Yeah, that won't be
that won't be
in the playoffs.
Yeah, that won't be in the playoffs. and this is the last time that they strapped on, that helmet and shoulder pads and everything like that. The last time, and the only thing you could say is that I hope you left it all on the field.
Yeah.
I hope you did everything there was, because not everybody is going to be at the next level. Not everybody is going to be, playing, football, for a college. So you just gotta make it happen,
Gary, you guys gotta lock the door.
Come here, man. I'll give you the key. Somebody out there waiting for you.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll take control of this.
All right, but no, I gotta go and lock the door. Somebody wants to come visit.
Somebody's at the door. Ladies and gentlemen, want to thank the great hospitality this evening from the Northwest Raiders. Alex Fontenot, great meal he had whipped up for us for pregame. I want to thank Mr. Brandon Fontenot for staying after late with us to tear everything down, the tent, all the equipment that was upstairs. You guys make these Friday nights even more special, and we can't thank everyone enough. I want to thank everyone Thursday night, all the great hospitality there at St. Ed's. It was always an honor to go back to Blue Jay Field and call some Blue Jay football, and Coach Schauber, his staff, they do a tremendous job with their facilities. They do a tremendous job making sure we feel right at home. So 2 great places we went this week. Thank you enough. Can't thank you enough for St. Ed's and Northwest for the hospitality and even better football.
You're right, Jordy. And once again, I want to thank Brandon, a good friend of mine, Brandon, for all the help that he did as far as tonight, helping us take everything down and moving it. Can't ask for nothing better than Northwest hospitality.
And Gary, here's a little thing, my friend. You start to look at St. Ed's and Northwest, both of them like when we show up, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, we look at this from the Wednesday night show. St. Ed's is now 4-1 all time when Under the Lights covers them. Northwest is now 6-0 when Under the Lights covers them. So you got to think in the playoffs, I might be getting a phone call from both sides saying you better come and cover us.
In the post-game interview, you heard what Coach said. Well, then y'all be coming back.
Yes, indeed, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Gary Swallows Taekwondo Martial Arts here in Opelousas, Louisiana, and Gary, the state champions down the road, they're still partying up. Happy homecoming to the Tigers. There's a sea of orange still at Donald Gordon Stadium right now.
Oh, it's done passed up. It's around Taco Bell here in the parking lot on that far side on the shopping center, man. So they're all over there and they're still having a good time.
We're about 30 seconds away from the stadium, and
that's right.
And you can still hear the partying going on. They're celebrating homecoming, and they do it big around here.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Great victory for the Tigers. They did a great job tonight. They were picked to win and everything, and they pretty much dominated. But man, it's good to see that they're having a good time. But like I said, when will they play? When are we going to have playoff football? We have no idea.
Gary, but when you have games like you did tonight in North Louisiana, you say to yourself, okay, this is what a quarterfinal will look like. This is what a semifinal is going to look like down the road. So you got an early look of your potential big-time matchups later on down the road. You had an undefeated 9-0 Neville Tiger Ball Club going into a rowdy Alexandria Stadium tonight. Both of them trying to stay perfect. We talk about this game, Gary, and when we talk about this one, what's going to come up is the show that the Trojans put on tonight.
Oh, God, man. It's just, all I can say is that's a big wow is what I saw tonight. I mean, it's unbelievable. And like I said, I just, there's some wows in here, but that was one.
Yes, and you talk about the J.T. Lindsay highlight reel type of night, but this was a total team effort.
Yes.
When I told you this score at halftime, Alexandria is for real.
Most definitely. And oh, by the way, most definitely.
An Alexandria team that is 10-0 going into the playoffs right now. Will they leapfrog Edna Core for that number 1 seed? It's going to be tough tough to leapfrog them because of the power rankings. But Gary, that's a 1-2 punch you could very well see down the road if they survive the gauntlet.
Yeah. But, you know, if you look at this, I mean, Division I Select and Division I Non-Select, the two biggest groups there are in the state. Man, the talent and the competition in those two divisions, unbelievable. Where will they bracket up? Where will they be? We don't know.
Gary?
And we won't find out. Hopefully we'll find out by Sunday or Monday.
Or,
You know, but it might not be till a week or two, and that's just crazy. And we'll talk about that
I'll
later.
put my money on we'll find out Thanksgiving Day.
That's a good possibility.
We're going to eat some turkey and they're going to say,
Yeah.
all right, guys, here comes the brackets.
Yeah. Look, man, you don't want my opinion on that because that's
Keep it to
just
yourself, sir.
yeah. That would not be nice. You would not like my words coming out of my mouth.
Gary, Alexandria, big winners tonight over Neville, 42-16. And kind of starting to think this might be an early favorite statement win of the night when we get to that part of the show. Because that was a statement. They put the state on notice tonight.
Oh, most definitely. When we go through these scores, y'all gonna be wow. They're gonna have a lot of wows in there.
Yes, my friend. I mean, you also had another one Thursday night where two teams out of the Baton Rouge area absolutely, when you looked at the score, you said, oh, man, basketball season has started.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
And Zachary and Catholic of Baton Rouge had a good basketball game going on Thursday night. And then you say to yourself, oh, wait.
Right in the middle of a football field.
Oh, wait. This game was played on the gridiron,
Right,
Gary.
man.
No defense
No.
is allowed on Thursday nights in Baton Rouge.
I guess, man. That was unbelievable.
You know what they challenged? They challenged their Shreveport area on a Thursday night in Baton Rouge.
I guess.
They
Man.
said, all right, man, we might have to face some of these teams in the playoffs that likes to score a lot of points. How about we let's get to scoring ourselves here in Week 10 and go rolling into the playoffs. Catholic of Baton Rouge, only 73.
Only.
Only 73.
But they gave up what? 55?
Gary, you give up 55, you're supposed to lose games.
That's right.
Gary, you give up 73. You thinking to yourself, man, we don't have a good team. But Zachary, that's a good team.
That is a good team. Yes.
Catholic of Baton Rouge, Gary, that's an even scarier team that's going into the playoffs 9-0.
They're the champs.
To be the champs, you got to beat the champs.
And right now, the champs don't want to be beat.
The champs right now going into the playoffs. We talk Alexandria, we talk Edna Core, but Gary,
I'm listening.
Catholic of Baton Rouge is also in that bracket.
You're right. That's what I was getting ready to say. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they're not just going to give up their title.
No, not at all.
Core, Alexandria, Acadiana, they want the title. Well, Catholic of Baton Rouge said to be the champ, you got to come beat the champ. And in the playoffs, it's going to be a war week in and week out.
I don't know how to say this other than the fact that you got Edna Core, you got Catholic of Baton Rouge, you got Alexandria, and you got Acadiana. Wouldn't that be a good semifinal, Final Four? Just to see those, and then to see the winners of however it plays out to go to the Dome.
Hey,
That's high quality high school football right there, buddy.
you're right, my friend. Gary, we had some other great games going on. I think we had about, 10 to 12 different district title games going on across the state of Louisiana.
Quite a few, yes, sir.
And you know what a certain trend was in these district title games?
What?
Majority of these district title games were one-sided and
Yes.
blowouts. Who saw
Yes.
that one coming, my friend? You look at some of these scores, and I mean, Chalmette Salmon was a good one. Chalmette wins the district title 34-28, so they claim the 7-5-8 district title.
Right.
But then you start looking down the road and thinking to yourself, okay, we ain't got many close district title games here. Haynesville moves to 10-0 with a 51-6 victory over Glenbrook. How good are they?
Yeah.
Who wants to play Haynesville in the playoffs right now in Division 4 non-select?
You're right.
Heavy favorites and going into the playoffs. And the road to the Dome will roll through Golden Tornado Stadium.
Yeah, you're right. And that's why we need to get this stuff fixed now. They should have an idea right now where they're going, and Sunday should be the official breaking up.
No sleep.
No sleep,
for
no whatever.
the week.
That's it.
You better be in the meetings
You're
the
right.
rest of the night.
You're
What
right.
else we got, Gary? More district title blowouts this evening.
Yeah. quite a bit.
Archbishop Shaw on Thursday night took the District 9 4A crown over St. Charles. Right now, Shaw, if I had to put my money on anybody in Division 2 select, I think they're heads over heels over everybody right now.
Shaw is making it known that they're there and they're coming.
You know when Shaw opened my eyes?
What's that?
When they blew out LCA at LCA.
Yes.
That's whenever I said, okay, I thought it was Shaw, ULAB collision course, but right now it might be Shaw versus themselves.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody can line up on the field with them for 4 quarters.
They're playing great football, and like you said, they opened my eyes and doing what they did to St. Charles. Yes.
Yep. Road trip Thursday to win the district title. More blowouts for you, Gary. You want another one?
What's that?
Covington Christian knocks off Central Catholic for the 7-1A district title. They stay perfect on the year. 10-0.
10-0.
They're quiet.
They remind me of
Right here,
right
Gary.
here, right there, Covenant Christian.
Covenant Christian is
Right there.
under the lights panel, and guess what,
That's
Gary?
right.
We got teams that are right here locally that we don't even have, but Covenant Christian
sent
is
us
10-0, and they're on the panel.
But the thing about it is that they're quiet. Remember whenever we kept talking about Destrehan years ago? Quiet
10-0.
team, 10-0, and all of a sudden they come out, they're in the Dome, they're the champions. You know, Covenant Christian could well do that too.
Gary, think about this. With Catholic and Point Capee losing tonight,
Yes.
that opens up the door for Covenant Christian to get into that seed where they won't have to see
You're right.
maybe a Ouachita Christian, maybe a Vermilion Catholic, maybe a Southern Lab. We'll see where they line up on in the bracket, but I am very locked in on Covenant Christian.
Mm-hmm.
They can make a run.
They sure can.
What else we had? More blowouts, didn't we?
Yeah,
In
we had
district title
we had a
games?
few of them,
You're
yeah.
starting to see a trend here, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
St. Frederick's beats a 7-1 Delta Charter team 43-0. This is district title games, my friend.
Yeah.
2-1-8 district champs is St. Frederick's. Gary, I mean, what are we doing here? It's week 10 and we got district title games on the line, and it is blowout city. You see the trend.
They're getting blown out. I don't know what it was as far as the teams, the prep, whatever. It's like some teams didn't show up. They didn't wake up this morning. And that really is concerning, especially setting up for the playoffs.
Gary, you want some more trends?
Yeah, let's go.
You want some more district title games that were lopsided?
Yeah, we got a few of them.
Here's another one. How about 9? We had a phone call.
Okay, wasn't me.
Check the audio, see if we're still on. Doesn't Mr. Jason Somley know we're live on Facebook right now?
We're gonna have to fuss at him.
Jason trying to chat about the Kinder Yellow Jackets district title win tonight. We'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah, we will. We good.
Yeah, but can anybody hear us?
Can y'all hear us, guys?
I'm frozen.
I'm not. I'm good. Let's see. Hang on.
Yeah, put your heart.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. You can hear us?
I can comment.
Hello, guys. Can y'all hear us now?
Oh, yeah, Gary.
I heard you.
Let's go back. What were we talking about?
We were talking about blowouts.
We were talking
the
about
Jennings
the
Bulldogs.
Jennings Bulldogs. That is probably going to be the 2 or the 3 seed going into the playoffs. Gary,
They went to Westlake.
9 straight wins, and I don't think they've had a close game since week 1.
Right. You're right. I cannot.
Well, I take that back. Them and Notre Dame had a close one.
Yeah, they did. Yes, I got to.
But my friend, that was the first
Look at
time.
this.
That was the first time they beat Notre Dame in school history.
Correct.
And with a year like this year, you expected it. This is a really good Jennings team.
This is a scary team to whoever they play in the playoffs. This is going to be a scary team, no matter who it is.
Coach Fusilier has the Bulldogs clicking on all cylinders. They went on the road tonight. It was Westlake's senior night, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
The District 3-3A was on the line. Gary, Jennings won this game 50-0 on the road.
Man. Wow, man. And like I said, that's a big time wow.
How good are the Bulldogs?
That is just like telling them to say, don't forget about us. And you know what? Y'all better not forget about them because they are coming strong.
Jennings looks primed to make a run here.
Yes, they do.
They are
I
the
love it when
District
local teams go get up there.
3A champions. More blowouts you want?
Yeah, buddy.
You want some more games that ended in blowouts?
Let's go.
Gary, Thursday night, it was 8-1 Oak Grove
Yeah.
against a 9-0 Ouachita Christian Ball Club. Gary, Ouachita Christian has not lost a game since they renamed the field. They were 40-0. Gary, someone forgot to tell everyone that Oak Grove's going for a three-peat.
You're right.
Someone forgot to tell them that they had Jackson Bradley at the quarterback position.
That's right.
Someone forgot to tell them that Oak Grove has hit their stride since week 1. They've also won 9 in a row
Right.
since the week 1 loss to Calvary Baptist.
You're right.
Keep the trend going.
I don't know. What happened, man?
The trend will continue. Your District 2-2A champions. Oak Grove goes on the road and knocks off an undefeated Ouachita Christian Ball Club 44-14. Well, hello somebody. Here comes Oak Grove.
That's a team that just keeps getting better and better and better. You know, I don't know where.
They moved up in classification.
It didn't matter. It don't matter. They're
New
going to be
district.
strong man Oak Grove.
To be the
Watch
champ,
out.
you gotta beat the champ.
That's right. And nobody beat them yet, except for the
other champs.
The other champions. That's right. Anyway, you know what I mean. At crunch time, this is where you got to start worrying about them because they are.
This is where they start
going.
peaking.
Yeah.
They play their best football.
They
once
right
get to
here by this
point.
time of the year. They're up there and they're a well-oiled machine. Yes.
Larry, what if I told you we may get an Oak Grove game this year? What would that do to you?
That would make me so happy.
That would make. We've never been to Oak Grove before.
No, never have.
But there's opportunities if Oak Grove's on the road also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My friend, the
We
playoffs
might be able
are
to
going
get
to
it.
be fun. Shout out to my man Jesse from Oak Grove. He's on the radio for the Tigers. And Gary,
Wow.
what else we have here? Any more trends? You see any
let's
more
see.
trends this evening for district title games that were blowouts? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. The one right over there.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
The one that we
Right
just
there.
left from.
Yeah, that one too.
The one that we just left from and packed things up.
Mhm.
Gary, what if I told you the battle for the District 4 3A was on the line over there at Raider Stadium?
Yeah. And you know what? One team showed up.
Gary, when you thought to yourself, this game, man, this is going to be 4 quarters, 48 minutes, a lot of fun when these two teams clash. But from the start, it was complete domination from the Northwest Raiders. Gary, the Raiders knock off Iota 36-11
Right.
to claim the 4-3A district title. And Gary, this is probably, when we talked to coach in post game, I asked him, was this the most complete game you've seen from you guys all season? He said, you know what? He said, I think so.
Yeah.
So if you're playing your best football right now, going into the playoffs, Gary?
Mm-hmm. You know, Jordy, I'm gonna tell you right now. As far as for Northwest, I think Northwest is playing probably their best ball as a team right now. They had an excellent game plan. Right,
yes.
They had a great game
And
plan.
the defense played
Oh,
lights out
God.
for 4 quarters.
They did, but you know, if I hate to say this way, if anything, I'm worried about Iota. That was a letdown, I think, for Iota. They needed to come out
Match the
firing
intensity.
and to match the intensity, and they didn't. That concerns me for that
Extend
ball.
drives.
Right.
We thought about it in pregame.
Mhm.
You had to come up, match the intensity, match the physicality, extend drives on 3rd downs, and I'm not sure what their total yardage was tonight, but not your typical
No.
Iota offensive night. And
No.
they were not clicking like we were accustomed to.
They were and
Out of sync.
That's what I was saying. I'll give them to say they were a little out of sync, and they had some passes that were close.
But
they
the
had
Raiders were all over it.
But they had some passes that were close from being intercepted too. I mean, as far as that, they were throwing the ball, and the Raiders' defense was clutch.
Had about
Oh,
4 or
my
5
God.
chances for
Yes.
interceptions that were
Most
dropped
definitely.
this evening, Gary. And then you lose the big time talent in Kevon Johnson early on the first drive. He busts 2 big time runs, gets him inside the red zone, and then he's out the rest of the game with a
Right.
high ankle sprain.
Right.
And they turn to the bench, and Samuel Lede, that eventually won Player of the Game honors this evening.
That young man is good.
When he got his opportunity, and you know they run a 1-2 punch with those 2 guys, but Lede,
He took it.
He took it and ran with it.
He took it by the. He took he took the Raiders by the horns, and he just took them and said, "I got you." And man, he had some great runs today.
And his offensive line
God, they
opened
were-
up some gaping holes.
Yes.
And him and Craig Malvo and even the quarterback, Mr. Chavis, all 3 have said, "Okay, we got you, Kevon."
Yeah, they let him, and the first, when Mr. Lede was successful, the first person to greet him off of the field was who?
It was Josh.
Mr.
Kevon.
Mr. Kevon. And I'm gonna tell you right now,
That shows
that
brotherhood.
shows brotherhood, sportsmanship, everything you like. There's no jealousy on that team, and that's what makes them a team.
And that's what makes you championship contenders.
Correct.
Whenever you're all bought in.
Mm-hmm. Got to buy into the situation and do it.
But we are thinking about Mr. Johnson and hopefully for a speedy recovery because he's a great talent on the field.
Right. But hey, now the regular season's over.
And both of these teams
And-
will
and-
be
and
playing
they-
home football
Yes.
in the near future
Yeah.
or a month from now.
Yeah, we don't know when, but both of these teams are very talented, and I think that they're gonna. I know Iota's gonna learn from this game, and so will Northwest. Northwest gonna
You
say,
know
okay,
Iota's going to respond
Oh,
well
yeah.
and come back home for the first round of playoffs. And anytime they get at home, that's no easy place to go and win in.
No,
That's a tough environment.
Yeah, we've
And
over the
Northwest?
years, same thing. Northwest and
Northwest,
Iowa.
we'll see how far they move up in the rankings, but they're hoping for a couple of games at home these
Yeah.
next couple of weeks.
And that's possible. It is possible.
So we will
Yeah,
see.
we'll see.
Congratulations to the Northwest Raiders, 4-3-A district champions, my friend. What a game it was for the Raiders. Iota bounce back week. Almost definitely you can see it coming in the playoffs.
You're right.
Anything else really sticks out to you? Oh wait, there was another one.
Yep, there was another team.
There was another one. The trend continues,
Yeah.
Gary. At least one more.
It's that one right there, number 31, I think. That's the one I think we ought to.
That is not the one.
That's not the one.
That is not the one.
What's the other one you thinking about?
23.
Oh yeah, that's another one too.
Thursday night football, all the Yellow Jackets had to do was win, and you lock up a district title. Who wants to share whenever
No,
a
they
district
don't do
title
that.
was on the line outright, my friend? The Yellow Jackets of Iowa have won every game this season that they played an in-state opponent.
Right.
It took a team out of Texas to knock off this Yellow Jacket football team. Gary, hear me out.
I am hearing, Bubba. Both ears.
We've seen Iowa in the semis.
Yes.
We've seen them in the quarters. They've run into North Dakota back-to-back years. They
Yes.
somehow find their way on the other side of the bracket from North Dakota, or if they get that third time's a charm type of deal with North Dakota this year, watch out, because this year, Iowa, this might be the best team I've seen in 3 years.
I was getting ready to say that. I think watching this team right here, I think this is the best team that we've seen, like you said, in 3 years. They are well-rounded, put together, and man, I think that this is the year to see them make that jump.
We'll see. If there was ever a year, it seems like they're all in here, and they got a squad to do it.
Right.
They're led by a great defense, a great head football coach. He's got an incredible staff around him, and it's not one-man show there.
You're right.
It's a complete group unit that they know their role, and they do it really successfully.
You're right. I agree with you 100%.
Looking at all these district title games, let's see if we have any more for you, Gary. Any more that was really lopsided, or can we get to some of these juicy ones?
Let's get to some of the juicy ones, man. Let's get this going.
Taking a look real quick. We talked about Edna Carr steamrolling past Rummel 69-28 to win the 9-5A district crown. So they will probably go into the playoffs as the 1 seed. We talked about Catholic of Baton Rouge with a 73-point offensive clinic they put on. Defense gave up 55, but they do claim the district title. Catholic of Baton Rouge wins the 4-5A district crown. All right, I think we have talked about all the ones that were really out of hand this evening. Let's give you some games that were nail biters or were throwdowns for 4 quarters. I think we got to start with Newman and South Plaquemines, the battle for the 10-2A district crown, my friend.
Yeah. Newman had some games that they didn't play because of the hurricanes and stuff. Different
Hurricane,
things.
bye week, yes. These two teams came into the rankings. South Plaquemines was 7-2. They were ranked number 2 in the Division 4 non-select bracket. And then Newman came in 7-0, ranked number 2 in the select part of the bracket. And this one lived up to the hype for the district crown, 10-2A. Not sure when these two teams have met in the past, but I'm sure there's going to be some great battles moving forward when these two teams meet again. The Greenies would get the better of South Plaquemines by 3. Field goal. Special teams matters this time of the year.
You're right.
24-21. What an effort from South Plaquemines. And what a nail-biting victory for Newman. Newman goes in 8-0 into the playoffs. We'll see where they go into the rankings. But South Plaquemines, that's going to be no easy out for whoever draws them in the playoffs. Because they got athletes all over the field.
And playing at Newman, man, I don't know if you've never played at Newman, it's a unique feel. I'm gonna tell you that right. It's they got school buildings all around the
extra points on the map building. You throw a pass over the receiver's head and it might hit the science building.
Yeah, I mean it's unbelievable. And the bleachers are all on one side.
On one side, they split it down the middle. Home goes this way, visitor goes this way.
It's a great play. I actually got a chance to see it and play when the Mannings were there. You know, when Peyton and Cooper were both there. Fort Barry played them in the playoffs at one time, and they beat us. But they also fed us, and they gave us a little tour, and we got a chance to meet Archie and the whole family and everything like that. I was like going, and they just whipped our butt, and they're treating us like we're family. You know, it was a great experience.
So you got to meet them, and then we got to see Odell Beckham on display for a clinic he put on.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
So we saw them in the playoffs, and it was Odell Beckham show that night, my friend.
But yeah, Newman, great hospitality, great success. They're going to be a team to reckon with this year too.
And only 8 games played this season, 2 less than a lot of teams out there in the state of Louisiana. Will that come into a factor going into the playoffs?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know. If anything, it might help them to stay healthier and everything like that.
2 extra weeks of running your offense could be something to look at.
I understand that, but this is Newman. They have athletes. They do have athletes.
They got good coaching.
Yes, and they got exceptional coaching. Yes.
But South Plaquemine is no easy out in Division 4.
No, that was a good ball game there.
Yes, indeed. What else we had, Gary? St. Paul's knocks off Covington to claim the 6-5A district crown. We also got a St. Paul's helmet somewhere floating around here, don't we?
It is somewhere, but don't ask me where.
Probably over there behind the light fixture. Right there in your visual, Gary.
Right there, isn't it?
Yes, sir. And you love to see UTL spreading the brand around, even going down there to St. Paul's, and those guys dropped the helmet off to us, and now we can say another district champion is right here on the
wall. On the wall, you're right. You know, it's so good whenever you turn around and you see this, because
and they got about 4 more rows up top. We're just showing me and you tonight.
They got a lot more up there, and they're gonna have some more down here too. But let me tell you something.
There.
Yeah, well, that's next year. We're working on that. But no, you know, when you have when you can have people come up and you can show them their helmets and stuff when they see us on the show, and they see their helmets on that wall, it makes those kids, it makes those parents, makes everybody feel so good. So if we don't have your helmets, guys, you need to get with us, or
we'd love
to have it. Yes.
So congratulations to St. Paul's. Now they enter the gauntlet. Division 1 select. The gauntlet begins, my friend. St. Paul's could give some teams some troubles.
You're right. 100% right.
More district title games for you. How about we go to, let's go down to Avoyelles for this one, Gary.
Yeah.
The District 5 2A was on the line. Kinder and Avoyelles, what a back and forth contest this one was. This one came down to the wire, and the Yellow Jackets hold off a inspired Avoyelles Mustang team tonight on senior night, playing for a district title. But Kinder finds a way to get out of Moorville with the district crown and potentially a top 5 seed in the playoffs. What a win for Coach Reed's group. What a win for the Yellow Jackets, Gary.
Most definitely.
Your District 5 2A champions. Congratulations, Kinder.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. Big congratulations to Kinder.
7-2 turns into 8-2. Probably top 5. We'll see where they fall in the rankings or move up in the rankings. But Kinder, since the South Bowl loss, they've got things figured out.
You're right. You're right.
What else we have here? Avoyelles, great effort on the night, my friend. That offense can give anybody in the state trouble. But on tonight, Kinder goes into a good environment, wins it, 5-2A district champions.
Yes.
Yellow Jackets.
Most definitely.
More district title games. DeQuincy and Vinton met for the Big Cat Classic, and also you could throw a district title in to play. Tonight, DeQuincy would walk out of Vinton with a 27-16 victory to claim the Big Cat Classic and also the 4-2A district title for the first time since 2000. What a win for Coach Tate and that entire Tiger Ball Club. Man,
Yeah, great job.
what a victory. And you got to think to yourself, Quincy going into the playoffs, probably somewhere in that top 5, top 4 range also, Gary.
They're going to be up there. They're definitely going to be up there.
27-16 district champion, DeQuincy Tigers.
Big
9-1.
Big congratulations. Yeah, big congratulations. Big
What a
turnaround.
turnaround.
Both of these teams.
Yeah.
Big turnaround. Vinton, big turnaround from last year, and DeQuincy, big turnaround from last year. So all we can say is congratulations to both teams. But hey,
And good luck in
hats
the
off.
playoffs for both of
Yeah,
them.
both of them. But hats off to DeQuincy. They made a statement right there saying, "Hey, we're here and we're better than we were last year."
Yeah, man. They put it together this season for
Big,
sure.
big turnaround.
What else we have here, Gary? Their only loss this year came to the #1 ranked team on a go-ahead field goal late.
Right.
That's the
You're
only
right.
team that beat them.
You're right.
What else is there, Gary? Any other one? Anyone close? Here we go. Here's another one. A-Meet, Jewel Sumner, Thursday night. How about I throw in a district title between these two, and how about we say it ended in overtime? Jewel Sumner, another Covington Christian type of deal here where they're 9-1 going into the playoffs, and they don't seem like anybody's talking about them, but you better get them on your radar, because anytime you can beat A-Meet, that's enough for what I need to see.
Yeah, anytime you go in there, well, they travel to you, but anytime you can beat an A-Meet Warrior team, that's doing
It should
something.
open some eyebrows.
Yes, most definitely.
Raise some eyebrows, and Jewel Sumner is the 8th 3A district champions. Congratulations, big time overtime win, 29-27. Must have been a walk-off 2-point conversion.
Most definitely, that's what it's looking like.
What else do we have, my friend? A lot of teams wrapped up district titles tonight. We'll get to them. Any other district championship games went on tonight that I'm overlooking here?
First page, they had 2 that we talked about already, and then the rest, I think we just did those, so we're good.
And Alexandria with the win over Neville, Gary. Holly's
Man.
lock of the week is now 10-0.
And that's a game where, I'm sorry, whenever she said that one, I was like, ooh, that's going to be a close ball game.
I got a message from her while we were tearing down, and she said, lock of the week, 10-0.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah. And you know what? That was one of the strongest performances I've seen. Anytime you have 2 9-0 teams clashing for a title, man, isn't that awesome?
Yeah, my friend.
And Alexandria proved that they are for real.
They belong.
Yes.
You better not underestimate them going into these playoffs. They should be in everybody's semis, finals, or we'll see, or champion.
It's going to be interesting. But anytime you can do that to the good Neville team, look out.
Gary, let's talk about some of these teams that did not make it on to our Wednesday night show, but we should show some love here this evening.
You got a good list right there.
First off, this game was not close, but do want to show some love to North Iberville this evening.
Right.
Gary, in year 1, North Iberville finishes the season. I think they're 8-2 on the year. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm not sure.
49-6 victory over Ascension Christian, and what Coach Gass has done in year 1 of LHSAA varsity football is tremendous, and what a job well done. North Iberville going to go into the playoffs as a top 10 seed, and postseason football will be in Bear Country.
And a group of seniors and a coach brought a helmet for our wall. And, I'm going to tell you right now.
Down there, Gary, by the light.
Let's see.
Behind the light.
Behind the light. There it is. North Iberville.
They can't see that, Gary.
Hang on, I'm going to get it.
Yes, indeed, my
They
friend.
brought it to us, and they said that they wanted
Personally dropped it
their
off?
helmet to be on our show. So they personally dropped that off. Can't ask for more than that. That made my day. Whenever they had players come in here, shake our hands, tell us thank you for what we do, and then the coach comes in and gives it to us. Hey, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I think we took a picture, didn't we post
Yes,
it on our?
yes. Coach Gass running
Yes.
the first class program in year 1, and the sky is the
First year
limit for this ball club.
Oh my God.
We've seen some teams out the gate in year 1 do wonders, but North Iberville in year 1, Gary, they're going to be playing postseason football right back at Bear Country, and they're getting a brand new turf field next year.
Yes, I know. Isn't that crazy? Crazy. They said the minute that the season's over this year, they start
Yeah.
getting it ready. Unbelievable.
Another team we have to get on out there too.
Yeah.
We have to go see the Bears in the near
Yes.
future.
Most definitely.
If we can't get them this year, Gary, they have to be on our radar early next year.
Most definitely. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Congratulations to the outstanding start for North Haverville. Can't wait to see what they do in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Gary, we had some games that did not make it to the Wednesday night show, but we would like to recognize them.
Go ahead. Let's give them a
White
shout out.
Castle beats St. John here in week 10, 40-32. Pope John Paul escapes with a victory over St. Helena, 21-20. What a win.
Yes.
Closer than a lot of people thought. Country Day beats ML King Charter 16-14. How about the Baker Buffaloes and Coach D'Artez? When we talk about postseason football at your home field, well, guess what, Gary? Baker will play a first-round game at Buffalo Stadium. What a tremendous job and what an honor I'm sure that's going to be for Baker to have postseason football over there at Buffalo Stadium.
You're right. I think it's going to be awesome.
15-8, Coach D'Artez, what a job, and great friend to the program.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Great friend to the program.
Donaldsonville knocks off Patterson 21-14. I think Patterson might have went 0-10 this year, Gary. I'm not sure, but not what we're used to seeing with the Lumberjacks.
You're right.
Woodlawn Shreveport knocks off Booker T. Washington 28-24. Bruley and the Struma was in a shootout this evening, 7-6.
Yeah, 7-6. You're right.
Extra point, special teams matters.
Teams do matter.
Ellender stuns Morgan City late in that one. A late score is the go-ahead for the win. 19-14. Ellender gets the win. Woodlawn beats Liberty Magnet 15-14. They rolled off 15 unanswered in the fourth quarter to knock off Liberty Magnet.
Right.
What a win for Woodlawn. East St. John knocks off HL Bourgeois 32-28. Good game there. Bonneville beats Riverdale 27-24 in overtime. What's the trend tonight? Special teams.
Yeah, special teams. Right.
Special teams does it again. Hammond knocks off Ponchatoula 33-25. Slidell knocks off North Shore 24-19. Bastrop and North Webster. The game came down to a 2-point conversion stop. They said North Webster was a yard away from a tie ball game, and Bastrop, they get the stop. And when the game comes down to those couple plays, what a stop for Bastrop.
Yeah, Bastrop. You know, that was a big play. You know, they had to basically tighten up their chin straps and go for it and stop them, and they did.
Yeah. Carroll knocks off Richwood 22-16. Thomas Jefferson knocks off Fisher 28-27. And John F. Kennedy knocks off L.B. Landry 13-6. A lot of great games from around the state of Louisiana that did not make it on our Wednesday night show, but love to recognize those good, close victories across the state.
You're right.
Gary, got a couple games tomorrow. Don't forget, early, John Ehret will take on West Jefferson tomorrow at 11 a.m. And also, Jesuit will take on Warren Easton tomorrow at 1 p.m. Remember, they all share in stadiums that direction, so you have to get these games in on a Saturday. Even though we're late into where the playoffs are going to start, maybe.
Yeah.
But got to get these in before.
Before anything can happen, they have to do that.
Yeah, my friend. So let's go to some of these games that we did cover on Wednesday night. We talked about the Northwest game tonight. How about we talk about the St. Ed's game from Thursday night?
Right. That was
St. Ed's Westminster. That one right there, Gary. We saw a 26-21 halftime score. That was the game in the first half was tremendous, my friend.
Westminster actually scored first.
Yes. Went right down the field.
and
Big time pass play to set the tone of the game. St. Ed's, it seems like every time Westminster would do something, St. Ed's would come back and answer.
Right.
And it was a game right there in the first half of runs, and then in the second half, some adjustments were made.
Right.
And they came out and forced a couple punts from Westminster. St. Ed's got their run game established. Henry Summerlin, my goodness,
gosh.
man, does he run hard.
Yes,
and
he sure does.
he would not be denied Thursday night. And then Seth O'Quinn All you needed was 3 catches because they went for 181 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And Kane West, you like to call quarterbacks the general. Well, he's the complete definition of what a general means.
You're right. Has great touch on the football. If you've ever watched him, if you've never watched him throw, go and watch the game and watch his touch on those passes that he's throwing. You know, unbelievable. Very good man, a young man as a quarterback.
Gotta commend the St. Ed's defense, making the adjustments in the second half, forcing those punts to really put this game away here in this one. But hats off to the Crusaders. They never quit playing for 4 quarters of football. They got that score late in. They were still trying at the very end to get the ball back, force a punt, but that's coaching right there where it shows you he had his team playing for 4 quarters no matter what the scoreboard said.
Towards the end of the game, you know, St. Ed's was lucky enough to make some crucial first downs towards the end to kind of run out the clock. And, you know, Westminster did not stop. They kept playing, and that's the, you know, makings. And actually, it's the recipe for a good, solid football team. Don't give up.
I don't think Westminster fell much in the rankings coming into today. We'll see where they fall once the rankings update tomorrow.
Right.
But I got a good feeling Westminster's going to host a first-round playoff game.
I'm sure.
And I got a good feeling St. Ed's might have just earned themselves a first-round bye.
It's going to be close, but yeah, I agree with you.
2 teams that we're looking forward to see what they do in the playoffs. Always good to see locals
Yes.
go out in the playoffs, and we'll see how far both of these teams can go.
Yep.
So good luck to Westminster. Good luck to St. Ed's as you enter into the next chapter, into the playoffs.
Correct.
Gary, happy homecoming to the Opelousas Tigers. They knock off Beauchesne 40-0, and the party is still going on over there at Donald Gordon.
They still whooping it up over there, man.
And congratulations to Opelousas. They go into the playoffs 6-3 right now. We'll wait to see where they are in the rankings, but I don't think they really care.
No, they're going to play no matter what.
Put us at 12, 13, 14, or even 28. They're going to line it up, and they're no easy out. And
You're
to
right.
be the champ, you got to go beat the champs. And right now, Opelousas is the champs.
That's what I'm saying. They are the champs right now.
Menard knocks off Pillsbury this evening, 35-7. They get their 4th win of the season. Menard had a lot to play for this evening because they were on the bubble. A loss would have knocked them out the playoffs, but it seems like with the win, they have a shot to stay put and have some postseason football next week. Gonna have to travel,
Right.
but Menard gets a win this evening, and they have postseason football in their sights.
Right. You're right.
You know who else has postseason football? It's the Cecilia Bulldogs, but Gary, I don't think Cecilia is going to be playing at home in round 1. Who wants to welcome them in the first round if they're on the road?
That's a good ball club. I do not want to see them, in the first round. You get, like I said, they are a good ball club, and Diesel knows how to play, and I'm gonna tell you right now, whoever faces them, they better bring the big dogs with them.
Yes, indeed, my friend. I wonder if Go Preps is getting overruled right now by a bunch of traffic. You know how whenever you get that, and they're good. So you know how certain times they get a heavy dose of people trying to check out the rankings here late in the season. I'm trying to see where Cecilia is actually ranked after tonight. So 17, Gary, got a shot.
Got a shot, yeah.
Got a shot to host in the first round, my friend, and
We'll see.
we'll see. Crunching numbers Saturday morning, we should have ideas. Right now, Opelousas dropped 2 spots. Northwest moved up to 11. Long way to go.
Long way to go,
before we get these rankings out.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm just so disappointed in not knowing everything, not having everything in there so we can find out Sunday. But like I said, we need to get this fixed.
And shout out to Go Preps, my friend. I saw them early in the chat checking in, saying appreciate
Yeah,
y'all.
okay.
But no, Gary, we appreciate everything they do.
They do, yeah. They help us out a lot.
Man, we couldn't do what we do without a great platform like what they have.
You're right. You're 100% correct.
And they're gonna be real busy these next 48 hours.
Yeah.
What else we had, Gary? Sacred
Sacred
Heart
Heart.
knocks off Birchman's 42-0. Congratulations to our good friend over there at Sacred Heart, picking up his 6th win of the season, going into the playoffs right now, and those seniors get another week of football. We'll see how far the Trojans can go, my friend.
Yeah, buddy.
Como potentially play their final game this evening. Not speculating. That's just rumors flying around. We'll see what the future holds for the Spartans. But Gary, if this is it for them, man, we'll see what the future holds. But Westgate, ever since they've had some younger guys stepped up, they've really dominated these last couple of weeks. They get their 7th win of the season, 52-16. Westgate will go into the Division I non-select playoffs, and we'll see where they lie and how far they can go.
Right.
Catholic New Iberia reels off 9 straight wins after a 49-7 win over Holman Christian. Only loss this year was in the monsoon that they played in with Vermilion Catholic, but it's not a bad loss there
No,
to
not at all.
VC, knowing what they reeled off this season.
Catholic of New Iberia is going to make a statement this year.
It's a tough bracket to do it in,
Yeah,
but they got the team to do it.
They have the talent to do it, and you know, we saw them at the Jamboree, and we said then they were going to be a team to, you know.
Yeah, when we got our eyes on them for the Jamboree, we knew they had something special brewing.
Correct. All right.
Gary, how about Mamu getting a win, 36-6 on Thursday night? Congratulations to Coach Lamb. He sent the seniors out the right way on
Correct.
senior night with a big-time win. And year 2, I'm very excited to see what's in store. Mamu is on trying to wait it out till Sunday or further on to
Whenever.
see if they've snuck in the back door. Right now, it's a long way to go, Gary. At the 33 spot.
Yeah.
So if they don't get in, I just want to say congratulations to Coach Lamb on year 1 and
Yeah.
year 2. Man, they're gonna do some tremendous stuff.
Correct. They're making very steady progress. So all I can say is congratulations for the foundation that you're laying.
You're laying it down and sent the seniors off with a big win. So congratulations on that, my friend.
Right.
What else we have this
Church Point.
evening?
Again, Church Point and Ville Platte.
You had Ville Platte playing in a win and get in type of situation, but that was going to be no easy task as Church Point, always a great team.
Yeah.
They always battle hard for 4 quarters. Church Point knocks off Ville Platte 55-28, almost certainly eliminates Ville Platte for any contention of sneaking in the back door. Church
Right.
Point goes in potentially a top 10 seed going into the playoffs. They were at 10 coming into tonight, but we'll see if they can sneak to that 8 mark and
Right.
try to get the first 2 rounds at home.
You're right.
Some more for you. ERAF welcomes in a winless Abbeville this evening, but you got to think to yourself, Abbeville was going to give them everything they wanted and more, because Abbeville seniors were playing their last downs this evening, so you know they would be ready, locked in and focused to try to send their seniors out the right way.
Correct.
But ERAF on senior night would knock off Abbeville 42-28. A lot of people did not see this score as close, but ERAF, they lock up the 1 seed going into the playoffs. They lock up a district title tonight, and they are 8-1. And Gary, they just find ways to win ball games.
Yes, they do. And you know what? You know, they are always gonna be there. They throw a monkey wrench in everything, you know, as far as that, because they find ways to win ball games, and this was
Another case here.
another
1
case
by
right there.
14.
Yes, definitely.
They're coming into the night. Eunice was sitting at 29, had a shot if they got a win, and they had to go take care of business on the field first, and they did. 63-20 over Washington Marion, but it ain't looking good right now. You dropped a 30. Will you have enough to catch that 28 mark? Gary,
Doesn't look
this
like
is it for the if this is it for the Bobcats. They sent the seniors out with a win, but they might be on the outside looking in right now.
Yeah, I think it was. I hate to say this, too little, too late. You know,
And they
so
played some tough games this
Yes.
year, my friend.
They sure did.
I think 9 of their 10 opponents are going to be in the playoffs.
Right.
So I mean, Eunice has played a good schedule,
Yeah.
but I think Eunice is accepting that mentality. You better beat us now.
Yeah,
Because
because
we got a young group.
They are a very young group.
Brobridge in Livonia in a final game for the seniors. Who would get the final win? And it would be Brobridge on the road to pick up their second win of the season, 14-12. And he said that they moved down to the 2 seed, so let's check it out real quick. You know these rankings are gonna flip-flop all night and even into tomorrow. So yeah, they're sitting at
That's
2
good.
right now. So it ain't by much on these PRs, but
Yeah.
tomorrow morning we might wake up and see somebody else. What else we have? So we were on
Brobridge.
Brobridge
beat
gets
Livonia.
Livonia 14-12 tonight. So
Mhm.
congratulations to our friend over there at Brobridge, sending his seniors out the right way. And it's year 1 for him. You talked about Mahmoud laying the foundation down. Well,
Yeah.
he's got to do the same thing.
Most definitely, most definitely.
He's got to build off of this and go into the all season and get ready for year 2 under the helm. So
Mhm.
congratulations there. Lowerville starting to hit their stride. They get their 4th win of the season, a 40-20 victory over West St. Mary. Congratulations to the Tigers. Had our good friend Bryson Antwine on the panel the other night.
Yeah.
Elton comes back this week, steamrolls Maryville 45-6 for their 7th win of the season.
Right.
Elton's going to play postseason football at their home field in round 1, Gary.
Most definitely.
And when you got McKinley and Lemoyne and you got Mr. LeBlanc in the backfield, that's a healthy dose for some success. And
Right.
Elton, they needed a big bounce back week and they got it.
They're gonna make some people nervous. You know, you got to watch it. This next game was pretty close.
Yeah, closer than I expected here.
Yeah.
Grand Lake, they really dominated a week ago, and they come back this week and escape with a road victory
Right.
over Oberlin, 28-20. But I think at this point in the season, you're just finding ways to win ball games.
Most definitely, most definitely.
So congratulations to Grand Lake's 6th victory of the season. Everybody was chasing Hamilton Christian, Gary, but ain't nobody gonna catch them.
No,
They pick up their 9th win of the season, 33-14 over Bazille. How good is Hamilton Christian?
They are very good, Jordy.
Going into
Very
the
good.
Division 4
Yes.
playoff bracket, my friend. It's going to be interesting to see them match up against some of those powerhouses in
Right.
Division 4 Select.
You're right. I agree with you.
But you cannot discredit the 9-1 start.
Nope, not at all. That's setting a statement right there, saying, "Hey, we're good too." You know, that's really it's really exciting to see the smaller teams, be so successful.
Got some heavy hitters in that bracket.
Yep.
Red River, what a turnaround has been for that program. They get a 36-8 victory over Oakdale. Oakdale sweating it out. Are they in?
Well, I don't know.
And whenever you have uncertainty when the brackets are going to be delivered, you got to think to yourself, you're going to sweat out a couple shirts.
Yes, most definitely.
Because now you get put on a standstill here when you're flirting on the edge and you're in the bubble and you're trying to see if you even got in and they delay the process, that's got to be an uneasy feeling.
Oh, it's got to be agonizing, especially these kids that are looking forward to that day where they can actually find out if ever they're in the playoffs or not. And man, that's just so sad that we have to go through that.
Leesville gets their 8th win of the season, shutout victory over LaGrange, 33-0. We'll see how far Xavier Ford will carry the Wampus Cats in the playoffs because he's their guy.
He's the guy.
They're gonna ride and die by him, my friend.
You're right. Very good. Very good run back. How many more did he score tonight?
He's really separating himself from the rest of the state.
Yeah, no, he's just adding numbers to his record. That's it.
Lafayette Christian starting to play night football as we expected.
Mm-hmm.
They have got everything in order. They've played a grueling schedule. Now they go into the playoffs with a 64-14 victory. They gave Evangel a good game last week. Big win for homecoming a couple weeks ago. Now a win here in week 10. LCA seems like they found their identity moving forward. They got 2 co-interim coaches at the helm.
Right.
So, I mean, now that all that's settled, watch out for the night train to roll.
Yeah, now they can focus on doing what they have to do.
What else we had? St. Thomas More, the champs are back.
Yeah.
Here they come, Gary.
It's playoff times. They're hitting on all cylinders, man.
Here come the champs. 56-7 over North Vermilion. They go into the gauntlet.
Right.
I'm going to keep claiming Division I select as the gauntlet.
That's right.
To be the champ, you got to beat the champion.
Right.
St. Thomas More, this ain't Division II they're in no more.
Nope.
This is big boy football. They're fixing to enter.
Right. And I'm glad that this next team, they had to have a comeback win. They really did.
Had to bounce back after the last week's loss. Turlings gets a senior night win, 42-0 over Northside, and they go into the playoffs 9-1. And Gary, another situation here.
Right.
They enter the gauntlet.
Yep, they have. And you know what? Like I said, we said this earlier. They're gonna have from now on. You gotta play your best.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
What else we had here? Kaplan does ERAF a favor this evening by knocking off St. Martinville 32-0 for ERAF to claim the district championship. Congratulations to the Bobcats for that. Pirates had to bounce back.
Most definitely.
And they did it in a big way.
Yeah, 32-0.
32-0 on senior night. Pirates get a big win and a much needed victory going into the playoff.
Yes, most definitely needed that.
They got their hearts taken out from them a week ago with the walk-off field goal, but good teams find ways to bounce back, and Pirates are full display here.
Right.
Rain on Thursday night knocks off Crowley 26-12. Congratulations to the Wolves. We'll see if that's enough to get them into the playoffs. Southside knocks off Nish 31-21. Closer than I expected here, but this point in the season, just win.
Just win, baby. Yeah, you're right.
Sharks go into the playoffs 7-2. Watch out for Jess Curtis and his crew, Gary.
Yes, sir.
Jess Curtis has been there before.
He knows how to get his team ready for the playoffs. He is very experienced in that.
Lafayette, Sulphur playing in a winner gets in type of situation. Lafayette would knock off Sulphur 46-15. What a statement that was to go make it back to 500. So Lafayette looks like they might be postseason bound.
Lafayette's the Acadiana area is going to have a lot of people in the playoffs. It's looking like.
Yep. Gina knocks off Buckeye 46-6. What a victory for the Gina Giants, and Giants coming off of a semifinal appearance a year ago. Gary, got to start thinking to yourself, man, that bunky loss woke them up.
I think it did, and look out. I think Gina's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Come play, once the brackets come out, look out.
Gary, it is peak season, and
this next team is peaking right now.
Yeah, it is peak season, and this next team is peaking at the right time. Lake Charles College Prep knocks off South Bow this evening, 46-13.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to play Prep right going into the playoffs in Division III.
No, we watched Prep earlier this year, not far from here, and I'm gonna tell you right now, they have improved so much since that game.
Yeah.
So look out.
They get to 500. They go into the playoffs. Let's see if they're going to be hosting in the first round. Let's see if they are in that scenario. Yeah, Gary.
Yeah.
Lake Charles College Prep will host, my friend.
Yeah.
Right now, they're in the top 10 in the rankings.
Yeah.
So good job. What a comeback and what a schedule they played.
Well, and that's the thing. The gauntlet that they played, they played their losses were to 5 very good teams.
Yeah.
So that's basically why they're where they're at.
Yeah, congratulations to Prep. We got to meet a couple of the
Yeah.
coaches over there at Donald Corner after the game, so they're doing a tremendous job, and we're rooting for them.
Yes, most definitely.
Bunkie keeps the Catskin at their field with a 30-6 victory, and they finish off the regular season 10-0. Gary, this game was called early and not finished.
Yeah,
So this
that
game,
was some.
they said
things
this
happened.
game was called for player safety, and Bunkie gets their 10th victory of the season with a 30-6 victory over Marksville. Panthers goes into the playoffs 10-0. Gonna have a first round bye, and let's see if they learn from last year's experience.
Right.
You could take last year's experience going into the playoffs. You had a first round bye last year, and then a really good Episcopal team came in round 2.
Right. Yeah.
See if what Coach Hillman learned from last year, and what will he do differently this go around.
That's going to be very very important. He's going to have that in his head. He's going to be thinking about that forever. Last year and everything. But I think the most important thing that he needs to do is try to keep it as regular as possible. Keep everything flowing. Try not to make too much out of it, and just prepare like you always do. And once again on the situation, it's sad to see that you have to call a game for safety. And I don't know what happened, and I'm not gonna speculate, but this is high school football. It's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah, and Gary, I'm starting to think some of these 10-0 teams that go into the playoffs that are red hot and wrote off 10-0 or 9 straight wins, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these teams might not want to stop playing football.
Right. It gets it. You don't want to break the rhythm. You don't want to break the rhythm. Just keep on doing what you got to do.
I'm sure a lot of coaches would want to play a week 11, but some of those coaches might say, all right, let's make sure we get healthy going into week 12, knowing we have a home playoff game in week 12.
Mm-hmm.
But congratulations to the Bunkie Panthers. Congratulations to a couple of 10-0 teams out there.
Mm-hmm.
But the Panthers, we've been red hot high on them from day one. And
Yes.
there was ever a year for Bunkie to go win a state title. It's this year.
This is the year. They're clicking on all cylinders. They need to do that.
Here, this next game here, another opportunity for a 10-0 season would be denied. Over there at NRG Field, the claim was made Wednesday.
Right.
And it was said it is not easy to go win in New Roads. Well, Gary, Opelousas Catholic certainly has the Hornets number.
They seem to have them every year. I mean, whether they go down, whether Point Peak comes down Gardner, or if they go down to New Roads, they've been so successful, and they proved it again this year, 56-32.
Gary, what is that old saying? Get healthy at the right time.
Right.
And what did Opelousas Catholic do? They got healthy at the perfect time.
Yeah. Their quarterback came back, and
a couple of linemen
back, everything like, and they just proved it. They did what they had to do.
Gary, who was the biggest Opelousas Catholic fans tonight? The St. Anne's Blue Jays.
Blue Jays, yeah, you're right.
Because Opelousas Catholic knocks off Catholic of Point Capita this evening, now it's a shared title, and the Blue Jays are smiling big this evening.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Gary, we talk about the game though. Catholic of Point Capita stunned at home. What a win for the Vikings. And we talked about getting healthy at the right time, and when they're healthy, they're scary, scary good.
You're right.
56-32, Vikings go into the playoffs, and if they're healthy, watch out.
Look out. Yes.
Watch out for the Vikings. Move to 7-3 on the year, and those 3 losses came when they didn't have a couple of their key pieces.
Yeah, they were a lot. There was a lot of injury in that team for a while.
Catholic Appointed P, you gotta flush it. Get ready to bounce back in a couple weeks because they're still gonna host a first round. They're still gonna host a second round playoff game after the bye.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see where they fell to after this one, and we'll see where Opelousas Catholic currently sits. So Catholic drops from 2 to 6 in the rankings. What a big drop, Gary.
Yes.
And Opelousas Catholic is sitting at 15 right now. So both of these teams, Catholic's looking like they're going to have a bye. Opelousas Catholic looks like Diamond Gardner Stadium will be the place to be at.
You're right.
And how does this work out, Gary? If Opelousas Catholic has a home playoff game in round 1, and Opelousas High has a home playoff game in round 1, could we potentially have Under the Lights on a Thursday night at Diamond Gardner Stadium?
That's a possibility. That's a possibility.
I like the way you think, sir.
That's a possibility.
Because I don't see them moving the game to another stadium. They
No,
want to play
no.
at Diamond Gardner, both of them. So good job, good win for the Vikings. A big time upset this evening over previous undefeated 9-0 Catholic Appointed P. The
Right.
perfect regular season falls 1 game short.
Correct.
Vermilion Catholic's perfect season would not fall 1 game short. The Screaming Eagles ring the bell 56 times, knock off Westminster of Lafayette 56-7. Screaming Eagles lock up the 1 seed, and they are dangerous. They have a mission, and the mission is we want to play in the Superdome. Well, the mission right now might be, well, we'll line up and play the state championship anywhere in the state
yeah,
because
we don't know
we
where
don't know what it's
gonna
going to be. But Vermilion Catholic, heavy favorite in Division 4
be.
Select.
Right. Most definitely. Yes, I agree.
Congratulations, Coach Brock Friesian, on an outstanding regular season. Now go finish it off.
Yes.
Sentimont takes down Denham Springs 38-8. Good win for the Gators.
Right.
Sam Houston knocks off Barb 42-23. Broncos get a big win at home.
Mm-hmm.
Acadiana moves to 9-1 on the year, knocking off Karen Crow 51-7 at the open air Crow Dome. Gary, is this the most talented Acadiana team you've seen in recent years?
Yes.
Because they've added some more dynamic to their offense, and
It's not fear the Veer.
It's
It's
fear
fear
the
the
Ram.
Rams because they'll pound it or they'll throw it. So look out.
and Gary, if Acadiana played Ruston right now from that week 1 game,
Mm-hmm.
because they figured things out in a heartbeat. They've reeled off 9 straight wins, and well, welcome to the gauntlet.
Yep, that's it.
We're gonna keep that trend going tonight.
Yep.
Gary, Captain Shreve and Bird, a great rivalry here. 2 teams separated by, it ain't far from each other,
And
and
they share the same field.
share the same stadium. It was a packed environment. Good old hate week between the 2 teams, and always ends with great sportsmanship afterwards.
Mhm.
Captain Shreve knocks off Bird 42-34 to get their 6th win of the season. What a game that must have been.
Yeah, that must have been awesome. And like I said, they share the same thing. The schools are literally one's here and the other one, you make a right, go around the corner, and it's right there. I mean, they're that close to each other with the stadium right there. It's amazing and great rivalry. Must have been an awesome game. 42-34. Had some points being scored.
Gary had another great game in North Louisiana
I
Thursday
know.
night when Evangel came in as ranked the 24th team in the state. Their backs were against the wall. They were trying to continue a 30-something year streak of making it to the playoffs. Well, you knew you had to go win because Parkway comes in 8-1. Evangel with Peyton, Pop, Houston, Gary. It
Mhm.
would not be Peyton Houston at the end. It would be a game-winning field goal. We go back to it. Special teams
Special
in week
teams.
10.
Special teams
all-
are special.
It's all over this paper here. Special teams won a lot of games this week.
Yes, you're right.
And for Evangel, they're going bowling because of a walk-off field goal.
Over Parkway.
45-43, what a game.
Yes, you are so right.
Gary Rustin gets their 8th win of the season. They go on the road. They shut out West Monroe 36-0. Who goes into West Monroe and shuts out them guys?
Rustin did. That's it. I mean, nobody normally, because West Monroe is usually the powerhouse, but Rustin, they made a statement today.
Gary, I'm starting to think to myself that Rustin might be pissed off.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
You lose to Neville. You lose to Alexandria.
West Monroe
You're
is
not-
just in the sights.
You're not in contention for the district title, but a new season begins. And if that's a pissed off Rustin team, watch out.
You are so 100% correct.
To be
Mr.
the
Jordan.
champs, you got to go beat the champs in the playoffs.
Yeah. The regular season don't really count, but I'm going to tell you right now, until somebody beats Rustin, they are still the state champions.
My goodness. So Rustin's saying you can have your district titles. You got to come beat us in the playoffs now.
That's right.
Okay.
100%.
What else we had? Ascension
Ascension.
Episcopal knocks off Lafayette Renaissance 35-22. The Blue Gators moved to 9-1 on the year. Congratulations on a great season from Ascension Episcopal.
Correct.
St. Aug has reeled off, 3-4 wins in a row.
Right.
Just the Edna Core loss, and they lost to Jesuits, so 6-4 record for St. Aug. 28-20 over Curtis. Curtis,
Curtis is the
first time since 1969 they're going into the playoffs with a losing record. What
That's amazing.
a run.
That is amazing. And you know, that's one of the most prestigious programs in the state of Louisiana, if not the most prestigious. You know, unbelievable. But
Not often you see down years.
you don't want to play them. You don't want to play them right now. You don't want to play them in the playoffs because they know how to win.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ. And the chorus says,
Oh.
let's line up again.
That's gonna be further down. That's not gonna be right now.
Edie White knocks off Vanderbilt Catholic 21-14. Great effort there from Vanderbilt Catholic, my friend. 21-14. Vanderbilt Catholic falls to 8-2. Edie White moves to 8-2. Did you see this score being this close?
No, I did not.
Thought Edie White had a shot to pull away here.
I thought Edie White was gonna pull away big at the end, but they stayed closer. So you got to give it to Vanderbilt.
I was thinking Edie White might be Shaw's only challenge, but coming off of a win like this, I don't know.
I don't know if
John-
anybody.
Maybe John F. Kennedy?
Yeah, maybe. But I don't know if anybody's gonna play with Shaw right now. I'll be honest with you.
Hineville bounces back after the Dusty loss a week ago, 28-14 over Lake Shore. This one was close all the way throughout, and Hineville late score really made the score out of reach. But Hineville gets their 7th win of the season. How
Right.
far can they go in Division I non-select? Watch out.
Look out for him. Yes.
Union Parish had a big time lead over Sterlington. They seen it slowly decreasing, but to hang on for the win over a surging Sterlington team that tried to reel off a big win. Ooh.
Oh.
If Union Parish, if Sterlington didn't wait too long, Gary, things could have got interesting.
Yeah.
But Union Parish, good teams find ways to close out games,
Yeah.
and Union Parish is a good team going to the playoffs.
Union Parish is always good. I don't know what.
And
it
you
is,
remember
but-
this, Gary? They won the state title a year ago. Going into the playoffs, they were 6-4.
Correct.
Guess where they at now?
6-4.
They're going into the playoffs 6-4. Don't let the Farmers get hot.
You're right. You are 100% right about that because this team is, once they get going, they're hard to beat.
This is whenever they start playing their best ball.
Mhm.
They played a grueling schedule up to this point.
Mhm.
Union Parish goes into the playoffs 6-4. We'll see where they land in the bracket, but I wouldn't be mad about an Oak Grove Union Parish state championship game.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't be mad about it.
No, I wouldn't be mad about that.
Salmon falls to Chalmette. And we talked about that one, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We talked about all our district title games.
Yes.
Okay, Gary. I think
We
we're done.
did. I think we're done on that. Now we got to give out
Let's go.
some stuff.
Gary, games of the night, Gary. Who's got your games of the night?
My games of the night. Well, we had the one yesterday that we covered, Westminster.
Troy said he would be. My bad, Troy. I forgot anybody was still watching.
Yeah.
It's late.
Westminster, and St. Ed's winning
That was
42
once
to
a
27.
26-21
Yeah,
ball game.
that was a game of the night. It was exciting, and like I said, till St. Ed's kind of switched gears in the second half. Grand Lake over Oberlin, 28 to 20.
Okay,
That was a good one. And E.D. White over Vanderbilt Catholic, 21-14. I think those are the games tonight because of the competitiveness.
Okay.
That's why I gave them those three. So that's my three.
Gary, well, we're completely off from each other.
I know. I figure you're kind of different.
I'm gonna give you 5.
Well, you always give me more than three. I do three.
I got a district title game that I'm claiming game of the night. Kinder over Avoyles.
Yes, that's a good one.
And a close victory, my friend. How close was it? By 4?
Kinder over Oils, in of Oils, right?
Yes, sir. You find that, but Kinder over Avoyles wins
30-26.
30-26 by 4. Wins first game of the night. Evangel knocking off Parkway with a walk-off field goal.
I'll give you that one, yes.
Jules Sumner knocking off A-Meet in overtime.
Yes.
Newman over South Plaquemines by 3 in a district title game.
Mm-hmm.
And Union Parish hanging off a Surgeon Sterlington Ball Club to win by a score.
Yeah.
I think they won by
Yeah,
a
it was-
score. Yep, by a score.
Yep.
So that's my games of the night, Gary. You had any upsets this week?
Well, we got statement games first.
We'll go upsets first.
Okay, go upsets first. Let's see. I got 2.
Yep.
My upsets, because I'll be honest with you, I thought they were going to beat them, but it's Captain Shreve over Bird. I thought Bird was playing at a higher level, but Captain Shreve proved me wrong, and they ended up Captain Shreve over Bird 42 to 34. Evangel over Parkway, I think that was because Evangel was down this year and Parkway was playing so good, but the way that they lost with that field goal, and that's my 2 upsets. The other one's a statement game. So
Gary, I got 2 of your. I got 2 of.
you got
my 3.
You got my 2.
I got Captain Shreve over Bird also, records wise. This is great football here,
Right.
no matter what. You can throw the records out every
Yeah.
time these 2 teams play.
Yeah.
Evangel knocking off in previous 8-1 Parkway. Another situation of records here. Evangel backs her against the wall and got a win to get in. And then Opelousas Catholic knocking off undefeated Catholic upon P at NRG Stadium. Big time upset tonight.
Right. Well, I got that game, but that's my statement game.
Give it to me, Gary. UTL statement win of the week. Who gets them?
Statement games. I got 4. Okay. OC over Catholic Point P. Statement game Northwest over Iota, because I thought it was going to be back and forth. Northwest proved that they were a superior team. And the statement game that I have, I got Catholic BR over Zachary. That was a statement saying
73
we
big
are
ones.
still the champions. And then I also, one of the ones that we talked about at Wednesday, Alexandria over Neville, 42 to 16, the statement game of the weekend.
It could have been in all 5 slots
Yes,
for me.
yeah, boom, 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 boom. That's good.
UTL statement win of the week. Alexandria over Neville with 3 exclamation marks.
Boom. Not 1, not 2, 3.
Yes. Oak Grove blowing out Ouachita Christian, my friend.
Yes.
On the road, Ouachita Christian with a 40-0 record at home since they renamed the field. Oak Grove went in and kick the door down.
Yeah.
Jennings knocking off Westlake in a district title game on the road, 50-0. That's a statement.
Yes.
Edna Carr putting up 69 on Rummel, sending a statement saying we're the 1 seed. And then Northwest over Iota tonight. And it wasn't even close, Gary.
No.
They dominated for 4 quarters.
You're right.
Gary, he wants to know the Catholic score. Catholic beat
55 or something.
Zachary 73-55. Oof.
73-55.
Basketball game happened.
Man, I'm sorry. That's just amazing to me.
Gary, time to give out some helmet stickers. How many you got?
I got 7.
I got 10.
Okay.
I'm giving out 10 helmet stickers this evening.
I'm giving out 7. Okay, and I'm gonna go all the way down. Okay, Alexandria, 10-0. Right.
Yes.
Carr, 10-0.
9-0.
9-0. Okay, 9-0. Was that 10-0? Undefeated. Okay. Covenant Christian, 10-0.
You right.
Haynesville, 10-0.
You right.
Newman, 8-0.
You right.
VC, 10-0. And one team that we talked about all year, Bunkie, 10-0.
All right.
So
Gary.
those are the ones that, and they were on our picks. So I'm not going on the other ones. Those. I think if you go undefeated, and we've been watching you all night, I think on week 10 you deserve a helmet sticker. So that's my helmet sticker.
All right, Gary. Let me give you my 10, my friend.
Oh yeah.
Listen to this.
I'm ready.
UTL helmet stickers of the week goes to. We covered the game on Thursday night. They got a big time win on our platform. The St. Ed's Blue Jays gets the first helmet sticker.
1. Gotcha.
We covered the game tonight, live on our platform. The Northwest Raiders gets a helmet sticker.
I agree.
Congratulations on the district championship.
I understand. I agree.
Gary Holly's Lock of the Week is now 10-0.
Yes.
Helmet sticker number 3 goes to Holly's Lock of the Week, and it's the undefeated 10-0 district champion Alexandria Trojans.
Can't ask for better than that, man.
Gary, helmet sticker number 4. Congratulations to the Kendall Yellow Jackets, district champions.
I agree. Good job. Good pick.
Helmet sticker number 5. Congratulations to the Quincy Tigers, the district champions.
He gave him a sticker, Jake.
Congratulations to the district champion, ERAF Bobcats, helmet sticker.
Very, very well deserved. Yes.
Congratulations to the Iowa Yellow Jackets, getting a helmet sticker from us. Congratulations to the Jennings Bulldogs, getting a helmet sticker from us. 2 more for you, Gary.
Yes, let's go. 2 more.
Congratulations to the Vermilion Catholic Screaming Eagles, district champions, and 10-0. And your
Yeah.
final helmet sticker of the evening. Congratulations to the Bunkie Panthers,
Yeah.
10-0, district champions. Congratulations to all 10 helmet sticker winners.
Some double.
Gary,
Great job, Jordan.
final words as we close out this one. We put a bow on week 10, and we try to figure out week 11. We try to figure out what's going to happen.
When we get the results, yeah. First of all, if this is your last game that you play tonight and you are a senior, thank you for all of the efforts that you've put forth in your high school career. And, be proud of yourself. I hope you left it all on the line. I hope you did the best you can. No matter what, hold your head high. If you are getting ready to prepare for the playoffs and that you are a senior, be the leader that you need to be. Set it up, get ready. We don't know where anybody's going right now, but be the leader that you need to be on that team and just enjoy it, have fun, and congratulations and thank you for the joy that you give us.
Yep. Everyone is 0-0 now. If you made it to the playoffs, you've earned it, my friend. And there's a lot of teams across the state of Louisiana that will be playing postseason football right here locally.
Yes.
So looking forward to seeing how many locals make a run to the Dome or wherever it is. But Mr. Swallow, I want to say thank you for everything this season. Thank the panel for pulling off a great regular season, and a new season begins.
Yes.
And the best time of the year has arrived, and we have some of the most fun we've ever had when the playoffs get here.
Right.
And we have memories for days. But Gary, everyone is 0-0. May the best team go win the state title from here on out. It is time to start the road to the Dome.
Yes, yes. And I hope it is at the Dome, because I want to be in the end zone with a big bag of popcorn watching the ball games.
Yep.
And, come on, and I'm gonna throw this. LHSAA, let's get it done. Let's keep it where it is, and let's make sure that it's the road to the Dome.
Yep.
End of discussion.
Congratulations to all the district champions this evening. Congratulations to the seniors that have another week, have another down. And congratulations to the seniors that played their last ones this evening. Coaches continue to pour into these kids day in and day out. And Gary, we say goodbye for now. We get ready for what could be a crazy next couple weeks. Don't know where we're headed. I do want to say these shirts here, which are long sleeves, are available online now. So if you would like a Under the Lights shirt, we will post a link tomorrow. So if anyone out there does want an Under the Lights shirt, those will be on sale online. The window is only gonna be open until Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So you got some time to get your Under the Lights shirt right here, the white one that I'm wearing. So did want to mention that here on the recap show, Gary.
And they're cool. I like them.
Yep. So if you support the brand, and we've had a lot of people show a lot of interest wanting shirts. Well, we made it happen. Sorry it's so late, but still had an opportunity to make it happen.
Yes.
So Gary's signing off for now, my friend. We'll see everyone in a couple weeks. Maybe. I don't know.
We don't know when we're going to see them. We will keep track of everything going on.
For it.
Hopefully, we're going to have, some information maybe by Sunday. But I just stay, looking at us on the platform. We'll let everybody know the minute we find out what's going on.
No bracket release show as this time. So everyone that was looking forward to 4 o'clock on Sunday, that is to be determined, and new date to be determined, all that to be determined.
Everything is to be determined.
So we close the door on week 10, and we open up week 11, whenever it will be. Can't wait to call another one with you down the road, my friends.
Yes.
We'll say goodbye to everyone for now. God bless each and every one of you. God bless my friend Gary Swallow, my good friend Kirk Taylor standing in the background with us. And we say good night, goodbye, and go Tigers. Beat Bama.
That's right.